Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Grand Theft Maniac. Let's talk about things wrong with the GTA series. Number 10, the driving. I'll say this, the driving in GTA 4 and GTA 5 is pretty solid, but the PS2 era games have some really rough driving mechanics. At the time, the controls weren't odd, but going back to them now just feels wrong. You use the face buttons for gas and brake. The cars just had this wild nature to them and made them tough to control, especially the fast ones. There were so many missions I failed because I wrecked my car and ran out of time. So frustrating. Number 9, stealth. It seems that every GTA game has a few missions that require stealth, and they're all pretty poor at it. In the age of Assassin's Creed and Splinter Cell games, we have to have a better stealth missions in games. You normally have to sneak for a good reason story-wise, but man, I always hate doing them. Sticking to cover is tough, and knowing if they can see you or not has always been a problem. Most missions end up failing if you get caught as well, and they just aren't fun. Number 8, fall damage. I know these games have always shot for real over normal video game physics, but it would be cool if you could just fall a bit longer and not take damage. It seems the older games weren't as strict on this as GTA 5 is, but it's still there. I'm not saying they have to go all Saints Row, but maybe let me jump off a 10 feet tall thing and be all good. It's not a big deal on the surface, but the more you play, the more annoying it is. Number 7, confusing side content. What I mean by this is that they don't make it easy to see all the side stuff you can do, not so much the actual content. Seeing stranger missions is pretty clear, but you pretty much have to stumble into everything else. I've played GTA 5 about 4 times and still haven't seen all there is. I know that not seeing all the content come across as a wow thing, but not to me. I want to play all the stuff, and I'm actually a fan of how Ubisoft games do it, showing the icons. Number 6, older games have rough graphics. I remember looking in magazines around when Vice City was coming out and was drooling over how good the game looked. Well, those games haven't aged well. The PS2 and PS4 games are cleaned up a bit, but they still look pretty rough. The close-up textures look like they have Vaseline rubbed on them. The main thing is the faces of the characters in the cutscenes. The things going on can get decently serious, and the faces look smeared and there's no lip sync. Number 5, aiming weapons. The aiming in GTA 4 was the first time the games actually felt like competent shooters, but until then it was pretty rough. Free aiming was so difficult, so depending on the auto aim was what most people did, and it was spotty. Up close it worked pretty well, but rolling up to a group of dudes, you better be ready to do the mission over. There was no getting behind cover and picking up people back then. There was mainly poking out from behind or building or something. It's very hard to believe the combat was so rough back then. Number 4, Vice City syndrome. To some people, Vice City is and will forever be their favorite game in the series, and nothing outside of a sequel or remake will top it. There is nothing wrong with that, but it can make approaching a new GTA game a tad rough. GTA 4 got a lot of undeserved hate in my opinion. Vice City is an amazing game, and seeing more of it would be awesome, but not everything has to be around that game in the series. Scarface is one of my favorite movies, so I get it, but GTA 5 is a better game. Number 3, saving system. Playing GTA 5, you will notice that after a mission is complete, that the game will autosave and you will be all good to turn the game off. Going back to the PS2 games, that was not the case at all. You had to go back to a few specific save points or the progress you made would be for nothing. It became a big pain when there wasn't a save spot close to the mission finishing. It was a system that we all just kind of ignored, but thankfully we don't have to worry about that anymore. Number 2, GTA Online. GTA Online launched a little while after GTA 5 came out, and it was very broken. I remember trying to get it on the PS3 and it was a nightmare and wasn't stable until it came out on the Xbox One or PS4. Once it worked, it was kind of a grind to play. This is totally a personal thing, but I always looked at GTA Online as the reason we never got single player DLC. They had story-based DLC with this, but not with the characters from the single player. Number 1, basically playing as the bad guy. A problem some people have always had with these games is that regardless what the main character may think, they're basically the villains of the story. The main solution to most missions is to take life, and most of the time, it's without remorse. Trevor in GTA 5 is the perfect example of this. He's basically a psycho, and the game forces you to play as him and do horrible things to people. I personally don't mind this stuff, but I know it's a problem for a decent amount of people. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.